Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. As you can see from the title of this video, I have a bit of an announcement to share. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first of all, I just want to say this video is a part 2 to the video that I posted last week, which I entitled Changes Are Hopefully Coming. So I'll link that up above if you'd like to check that out for context. But basically, as you can see from the title, I got a new job. So in last week's video, I talked about how I was interviewing for a library position in my current district, and I was informed on Monday from that principal that I was being offered the job. So I did accept it. So next year I will be moving into the library to hopefully finish out my teaching career. So I am not leaving the classroom necessarily. It's just going to look different. So I got a couple of questions on that video about what being the librarian would entail. So I thought I would kind of use this video, first of all, to announce that I did get the job, and also just to kind of talk about what next year is probably going to look like. Now, I have not had a chance to sit down completely with the principal and go over her ideas and things like that. So that will be coming later. I probably actually won't get a chance to really do that until maybe if she does sit down conversations over the summer. I don't really know how her schedule is going to look, but I know that my current principal likes to sit down with his returning teachers and talk about some things for next year or the next year. So she might possibly be doing that as well, but I will keep you informed. Obviously, this video is just solely to talk about what being a school librarian in my district entails and what my job next year is probably going to look like. So first of all, my district considers library to be a special area class. So it is in the same vein as art, music, and PE. So in my district, typically speaking, you get 55 minutes of specials time per day, and library is a 55-minute class. So for us, music and PE a lot of the times will combine, so they will do music and PE on the same day for 25-ish minutes each, but library and art are full 55-minute classes. So I will have every class in the building one time per week for 55 minutes. So that is how the schedule will play out. Now, this school does have pre-K in it as well, and I asked during the interview if pre-K attended specials, which they did do, or they are doing this current school year, but she talked about potentially not doing next year. So I might also have 2 pre-K classes. So we'll kind of play that by ear. She doesn't really know if that's going to continue or not, but it is potentially something that I would be doing. The difference with pre-K is that their aide would go to specials with the students, so it wouldn't just be me with the 3 and 4-year-olds. It would be me, the 3 and 4-year-olds, and their teacher's aide. So that's kind of how that would potentially look. But basically, I would be responsible for teaching library type lessons. Now, there's a caveat to that because Missouri does not actually have library class standards. What Missouri has are librarian standards. So things that the librarian is supposed to be responsible for and take care of. So things like maintaining the collection, doing events to bring parents in. So that can be in the form of a book fair or reading events. Those are all things that I did talk about with the principal about that she would like to see implemented. So all of those will probably be in addition to my teaching schedule. But basically, I will meet with every class 55 minutes per week and teach them various library skills. So that can be how to find books, what types of books there are. Also going over just basic read alouds, asking questions, having them answer the questions, and kind of very similar to what a whole group shared reading lesson would look like. That's a lot of what the library does. However, the librarian also really wants to incorporate STEM this year, which I'm very excited about. So that would potentially be in the form of some novel engineering projects, things like that. So again, I am going to be talking to my principal, seeing exactly what she's wanting to see, and then doing obviously her requests to my fullest extent. But I am also going to be responsible for reading books called the Show Me Readers, which are for students in elementary school. Each year you have 10 books, maybe? I honestly cannot remember. It's been 10 years since I've taught in the library, but there's a decent number of books that you are supposed to read to the students throughout the course of the year. And then I believe when February or March rolls around, the students vote for which one is their favorite, and then the winner is announced from the state. So that is something that I will need to do. Read those books to them, do like a lesson that goes along with it, whether that's a STEM-based lesson or kind of just more an ELA type based lesson. Obviously, it will depend on the books because I do not know what the nominees are yet. They probably have been announced, so I'll look into that and kind of get planning over the summer. But yes, that's essentially what my job's going to be. I will have each class for 55 minutes, and then I will be able to send them on their way until the next week. And honestly, that is one of the biggest selling points for me right now. I have enjoyed my time in the classroom immensely. However, it is exhausting to have that same group of students all day. It's really, really difficult, especially if you have challenging behaviors. The good thing about specials is that once your time with them is done, they move on out and you don't see them again until the next week. So I'm not gonna lie, that is a bonus of being a special area teacher. You're not with those same students all day. On the flip side, the sad part is that you don't often get to see their growth as you do as a classroom teacher. But for me, I feel like I've kind of done my time in the general education classroom setting, and I'm ready to go back to doing what I initially wanted to do when I was hired back in 2012. So again, if you watched the video from last week, you'll already know my history, but I did start as a librarian. I was put back into the classroom, and that's where I've been for the last 10 years. And it's time to move on, y'all. It's time to move on. So I'm very, very excited about my future journey. I am going to try my best to do some vlogging of that next year so you can see a little bit more in depth what my day gets up to. There are some things that I still am not sure about. So for instance, I don't know if or how often I will need to do recess duty, because at my current school, the specialists do cover the recess duties. I still will have my hour of plan and my 30 minutes of lunch every day. So obviously it will just depend on what the schedule looks like for her specialist. That will determine how often I have to do things like before or after school duties, whether it's car ride or bus ride or walkers, etc., or how often I have to do lunch duty. So all of that will come later once I have had a chance to look at the schedule. Right now we are still trying to work our way through the end of this very long school year. We have started our ABC countdown, so we will be on day 24 on Monday. 24 days until the end of the school year. So we're getting there, and obviously I will have more information for you as we get closer to the start of next school year. So I don't really want to say a whole lot more than that because I'm really not certain what my job is fully going to entail, but I do know that I am very excited to be back into the library, getting back to creating a collection of books that the students can access and find things that interest them in, getting a chance to do book fairs, reading nights, bringing parents into the library, especially in this time of like book bans. I feel like if more parents would come into the library, they would see that it's actually a pretty cool and safe space, and maybe some of this negativity would cease or go away. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but I am happy to have parents come in, take a look around. I also do not know what the collection looks like at that school, so I am going to need to take some time to go through, look at the books, see what we've got, what does the library have to offer to the students, where might some holes be that I will need to kind of plug in some new titles. So all of that will be coming. I am very excited and just really looking forward to this change, because being a classroom teacher is hard. And not that I feel like being a specialist is going to be smooth sailing all the time, but at least I will be back where I want to be for hopefully the rest of my teaching career. So this was just a quick little announcement video. I did get the job. Thank you for all of you who left good wishes and good luck comments on that previous video. They were much appreciated and sent me all the good vibes because it wound up working out for me. So yes, I officially clicked accept from my district on Wednesday, and it will be completely official once the board meets later in May to approve it. So yeah, next year I will be a library media specialist for grades kindergarten through 2nd, possibly pre-K. So stay tuned for any future videos in that vein, and hopefully you will continue to follow along on my new journey. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.